You might think honey is just something you add to tea or drizzle on toast. But for men over 60, using honey the right way can do something extraordinary. It can help open up your blood vessels, boost your energy, and even reignite your performance and intimacy naturally. Now, before you rush to the kitchen, listen carefully, because almost every man I've spoken to over the last 25 years has been using honey the wrong way. And when I say wrong, I don't just mean missing out on benefits. I mean actually blocking the very process that gives honey its power to improve circulation. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to share the specific way to use it, the science behind why it works, and the biggest mistake that stops it from doing its job. And I promise, you'll never look at honey the same way again. Here's the surprising part. When honey is used strategically, not as a sweetener, but as a circulatory activator, it can start improving blood flow in less than 30 minutes. That means warmer hands and feet, better energy, and yes, stronger, longer-lasting performance when it matters most. But timing and combination are everything. Because if you take honey at the wrong time of day, or mix it with the wrong foods, your body actually turns that natural power into stored sugar instead of fuel for blood flow. I'll show you exactly what to pair it with and when to use it. But first, let's get real for a second. If you've noticed your energy isn't what it used to be, if you get winded more easily, or if intimacy feels like work instead of connection, you're not alone. Every single man over 60 experiences some decline in circulation. The difference between men who bounce back and men who fade quietly is whether they know how to restore that inner flow, naturally, safely, and consistently. And here's the good news, you don't need pills or expensive supplements for that. You just need to understand how to wake up your body's own nitric oxide pathways. And honey, when used correctly, is one of the simplest ways to do it. I've seen this firsthand in my clinic for over 2 decades. Men who'd given up hope started noticing small changes within days, and bigger transformations within weeks. One of my patients, Mark, 67 years old, came to me after months of fatigue and low confidence. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I'm fading." His wife had noticed too. We started with a few simple changes, one of which was the honey circulation routine I'm about to describe. Within 2 weeks, he noticed his mornings felt easier. He wasn't dragging himself out of bed anymore. After 3 weeks, his blood pressure stabilized. By week 4, he said something that made me smile. "I didn't think I'd ever feel 40 again, but here I am." Now, I'm not saying honey alone transformed his life, but when combined with the right timing and a small daily habit, it jump-started his body's circulation in a way he hadn't felt in years. So let's talk about what's really happening inside your body. When you hit your 50s and 60s, your blood vessels naturally start losing flexibility. That means less blood flow to your brain, your heart, and yes, your intimate areas. When that happens, energy, confidence, and stamina all start to decline together. But honey contains natural compounds that help counteract that. It's rich in flavonoids and antioxidants that trigger nitric oxide, the same molecule your body needs to relax and open up your blood vessels. Think of nitric oxide as nature's flow switch. When it's turned on, blood moves freely. When it's off, everything slows down, circulation, energy, even desire. The secret is activating that switch. And here's where most men go wrong. They take honey at the wrong time of day, often mixed with bread, cereal, or processed foods. That combination spikes insulin, shuts off nitric oxide production, and turns the honey into stored sugar instead of energy. The right way? Take a teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey on an empty stomach, ideally 20 minutes before breakfast, and combine it with 1 pinch of cinnamon or ginger. Those 2 spices multiply honey's circulation effects because they naturally warm the body and enhance blood flow. That's it. 1 teaspoon. 1 pinch. Every morning before breakfast. And yes, timing matters more than most people realize. Because in the early morning, your body's insulin sensitivity and nitric oxide levels are at their lowest. Giving it that natural boost before food gives your arteries what they need to wake up, before the rest of your body starts demanding energy. Now you might be wondering, does that small change really make a difference? Absolutely. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that men who took a small daily dose of honey saw up to a 20% improvement in vascular function within 4 weeks. Another study from 2018 found that the polyphenol in honey helped reduce oxidative stress, one of the main causes of blood vessel stiffness in aging men. But here's what the studies don't tell you. It's not just about blood flow. When your circulation improves, your energy improves. Your metabolism resets. Your confidence returns. And that creates a ripple effect, better mood, better focus, better connection. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. Like another patient, James, 71. He came in feeling defeated, said his hands and feet were always cold, and his energy just wasn't there anymore. We ran his circulation tests, and his nitric oxide levels were nearly half of what they should have been. I put him on the same honey routine, adjusted his evening meals, and asked him to take short 10-minute walks after breakfast. Within 10 days, his energy improved. Within 3 weeks, his hands felt warm again. And after 6 weeks, his wife called my office to tell me, he's back to being himself. That's what circulation does. It brings back life, literally. And here's the part one love reminding my patients. You can't fake good circulation. No supplement, no pill, no quick fix can replace what your body does naturally when it's working properly. That's why using food strategically, like honey, is so powerful. You're not forcing your body, you're supporting it. But there's one important detail most people miss. Honey only works this way when it's raw and unprocessed. The clear, factory-made honey you find in most supermarkets is often heated, filtered, and stripped of the very enzymes that trigger nitric oxide. What you want is raw, dark honey, something that still has that slightly grainy texture. That's the kind that still has its natural medicinal compounds intact. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Dr. May, I've tried honey for years. I don't feel any different. And I understand. But here's why that happens, because the timing, combination, and source of the honey matter more than most people realize. Think about it this way. Your blood vessels are like tiny flexible hoses. Over time they harden and narrow. The honey's antioxidants can help relax them, but only when your insulin levels are low. Otherwise, your body just stores the sugar and misses the benefit. So if you're eating it right after pancakes, the benefit is gone. But on an empty stomach, that's when your arteries are ready to respond. This is why in my clinic, I teach men to pair this honey routine with light morning movement. Even a 10-minute walk after breakfast helps circulate that nitric oxide through your system. That's how you multiply the effect. And when you combine this habit with deep hydration, a glass of warm water right after your honey, you're giving your body everything it needs to push oxygen-rich blood through your system. Now, I'll tell you something I've noticed over the years that still amazes me. When men start improving their circulation, their confidence follows almost immediately. Not because they're doing something new, but because they feel their strength returning. Mark, the patient I mentioned earlier, told me one morning, "You know what's strange, doctor? It's not just that I feel better physically, I actually feel like myself again." That statement stuck with me, because what most men want isn't youth, it's vitality. The feeling of being capable, strong, and connected again. And that's what good circulation gives you. Now before we continue, let me clear up one more myth. Honey doesn't raise testosterone directly. What it does is improve the delivery of nutrients and oxygen that your body needs to produce and utilize hormones properly. So, when your circulation improves, your natural hormone balance follows. That's why I tell men, if you want to feel younger, don't chase testosterone first. Chase circulation. Because testosterone can't do its job if it can't travel freely through your blood. And here's something you can test for yourself. After just 1 week of following the honey cinnamon routine before breakfast, notice if your hands feel warmer in the mornings, or if you wake up with more energy. That's your first sign it's working. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about another simple addition that amplifies this effect even more. Something that's already in your kitchen and works synergistically with honey to protect your arteries and enhance stamina. But before that, let me remind you of this. Consistency beats intensity. Don't overdo it. 1 teaspoon is all you need. More doesn't mean better. It just means extra calories. What matters is timing, quality, and daily consistency. And when you combine that with a short morning walk, hydration, and one powerful spice, which I'll explain shortly, you'll begin to see noticeable changes in how your body feels, functions, and performs. Now, I mentioned there's one simple ingredient that multiplies honey's effect on circulation, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now: lemon. Yes, fresh lemon juice. When you combine honey with lemon and take it before breakfast, you create what I call the circulation trigger blend. The vitamin C from lemon helps your blood vessels produce more nitric oxide, while the honey delivers the antioxidants that protect that nitric oxide from breaking down. It's like sending the right soldiers into battle and giving them armor. One without the other doesn't work nearly as well, but together they create something powerful. Here's the simple morning protocol I teach in my clinic. When you wake up, mix 1 teaspoon of raw honey, the juice of half a lemon, and a pinch of cinnamon or ginger in warm, not hot, water. Stir well, and drink it slowly, ideally within 10 minutes of waking. That's it. You don't need supplements, fancy powders, or expensive tonics. Just this small, consistent ritual. And I'll tell you what happens when you do it consistently. Within 7 to 10 days, your blood flow starts improving. Within 3 to 4 weeks, your endurance and energy begin to rise. And after 6 weeks, many men report something deeper, a sense of vitality returning. I'll never forget Robert, one of my longtime patients. He was 73 when he came to see me, soft-spoken, gentle, and clearly frustrated. He said, "Doc, I've tried everything. Vitamins, pills, even expensive online products, but nothing feels different." We simplified everything. We added the honey-lemon-cinnamon blend, adjusted his hydration, and made a few small tweaks to his evening meals to reduce inflammation. That was it. After 3 weeks he called me, not for an appointment but just to say thank you. He said, "I don't know what happened, but I woke up this week feeling more alive than I have in years." Now that kind of change doesn't happen overnight. But it does happen when your blood flow improves, because circulation is the foundation of everything your body does. Movement, focus, intimacy, digestion, even sleep. And yet, it's the one thing most men never focus on directly. Let's talk briefly about the science behind why this works so well. When you take honey and lemon together, the antioxidants in honey protect nitric oxide, the key molecule that keeps blood vessels open, while the vitamin C in lemon helps your cells make more nitric oxide. Cinnamon or ginger adds another layer by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing inflammation, which keeps your arteries flexible. It's a triple effect. Lemon activates, honey protects, cinnamon enhances. This combination works with your body, not against it. It's not forcing a chemical reaction. It's restoring a natural one that's been slowing down with age. That's the difference between real healing and temporary stimulation. Now I want to make something clear. Improving circulation isn't just about intimacy. It's about your brain, your heart, your confidence, your life force. When your blood flow improves, your cells get more oxygen, your muscles recover faster, and your focus sharpens. In fact, studies show that men who maintain good vascular health after 60 have up to a 40% lower risk of cognitive decline. That means better memory, sharper reactions, and stronger mood stability. So yes, this isn't just about bedroom performance. It's about full-body performance. I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly energized from morning till night without relying on coffee, sugar, or naps? If it's been a while, don't blame age. Blâme circulation. Because age doesn't stop your vitality. Poor blood flow does. And you can reverse that, starting with something as simple as honey. Now let's address the question many men ask me. Can I use this if I have diabetes or prediabetes? That's a smart question. And the answer depends on your timing and quantity. When taken in small amounts, about 1 teaspoon, on an empty stomach, honey's natural sugars are absorbed slowly and paired with compounds that actually improve insulin response. The key is not mixing it with processed carbs or taking it late at night. In fact, one small study from evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine found that moderate honey intake helped improve blood sugar balance when combined with regular movement and hydration. So yes, it can fit into a healthy plan, as long as you stay consistent and mindful. Now, here's something I've learned after 25 years of working with men. Most health routines fail not because they don't work, but because they don't feel rewarding fast enough. That's why I always build what I call early wins into my routines. For this honey protocol, your early win is energy. Within the first week, most men notice better morning alertness. That's your feedback loop. It tells your brain, hey, this is working, and motivates you to keep going. And when you stack that habit with small lifestyle tweaks, the effect compounds. For example, add a short 10-minute walk after breakfast. Replace heavy dinners with lighter, protein-rich meals. Drink a full glass of water before bed and upon waking. Do those 3 things with the honey blend, and your body will start rewarding you with more energy and stronger performance, naturally. Now you might wonder, Dr. May, why isn't everyone talking about this if it's so effective? Simple, because there's no product to sell. There's no pill, no patent, no profit in natural circulation habits. But I've seen them outperform medications time and time again when it comes to long-term vitality. And that's why I created this channel, to give men real, evidence-based tools that actually work. One thing I love about honey is how it adapts to your body. You're not forcing an artificial reaction. You're reminding your body how to function optimally again. Think of it as giving your system a nudge back to its natural rhythm. Now let's talk about something a little deeper, intimacy. Because I know this is where many men start feeling defeated. When circulation slows, performance follows. And that often creates frustration, embarrassment, even distance in relationships. But when you start improving your blood flow, it's not just your body that changes, it's your confidence. You stop worrying, start relaxing, and reconnect with your partner in a way that feels natural again. That's why I always say, restoring circulation isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming connection. I remember one couple, I'll call them Daniel and Marie, who came to me together. Daniel was 68, and he said something that broke my heart a little. He said, I avoid intimacy now because I'm afraid of disappointing her. We worked on his circulation using the same honey-based method, along with a few relaxation and breathing routines. 6 weeks later, Marie emailed me. He smiles more. He laughs again. And he doesn't avoid me anymore. That's the power of confidence. And it starts with something as simple as blood flow. Now, before I wrap up, I want to leave you with a few practical tips to make this work even better. 1. Always use raw honey. Avoid anything labeled blended or pasteurized. 2. Drink the honey-lemon mix before breakfast, not after meals. 3. Stay hydrated. Dehydration thickens your blood and slows circulation. 4. Keep your legs moving. Even seated stretches or calf raises help keep your blood vessels responsive. 5. Sleep. Your body restores nitric oxide production during rest. If you don't sleep well, your circulation won't improve fully. These small steps build on each other. And before you know it, you start noticing changes that go beyond energy, like better skin tone, sharper focus, and more consistent stamina. And when that happens, you realize something powerful. You're not aging badly. You've just been missing the signals your body's been trying to send you all along. Now here's the truth most men never hear. You don't lose vitality because of age. You lose it because your body stops getting what it needs to function optimally. And you can fix that, not with drastic measures but with consistent nourishment. So start tomorrow morning. 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Juice of half a lemon. A pinch of cinnamon or ginger. Warm water. Slow sips. Give it 1 week. And pay attention to how your body feels. Because the moment you start feeling the difference, the moment your energy starts returning, you'll realize something I've seen in hundreds of men before you. You still have so much life left to live, and your body wants to help you do it. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with 2 things. First, if you found this helpful, take a moment to subscribe. I release new science-backed videos every week, all designed to help men over 60 restore vitality, energy, and confidence naturally. And you don't want to miss what's coming next. Because in my next video, I'm revealing one common heart-healthy food that secretly reduces testosterone and blood flow, and how to replace it with something far better. Trust me, you'll want to see that one. And second, if you're watching this and thinking, it's too late for me, I want to tell you something as your doctor and your friend. It's not. Your body is remarkably capable of recovery, no matter your age. It just needs the right signals, and you can start giving those signals today. So go ahead, give your circulation a second chance. Start simple, stay consistent, and let your body remind you what it feels like to be truly alive again. I'm Dr. May Anderson.